So I was lucky enough to get the Pixel 8 Pro when it first came out, hashtag gift from Google. And at first, things were pretty good. I've been using it every day since then, and we're getting close to about 4 months. But there are a couple issues that I've had that I'm hoping is gonna be fixed with a software update. But let me know down below if you've had any problems with your Pixel phone recently. I know there's some people out there that love to get software updates every month, and some of those people will even complain if it doesn't happen right away, but I'm not one of those people. In fact, I think they should put updates off as much as they can. As long as I get an update a few times a year. Really, I only need the update if there's something wrong with my phone. But if they just did updates a few times a year, I would be fine with that. But the first issue is right after one of the updates here a while back, I had some issues with Android Auto where it would no longer work wirelessly in my car. I had to plug in a cable, which I thought was kind of weird since I haven't had that issue before. I know once you get used to using Android Auto without a cable, it's sort of hard to go back to plugging in your phone all the time. Now, it's not a huge deal. I eventually got it working really by luck. I think there was a message that popped up and I just said okay. I don't remember because I hit the screen so fast. I don't remember what the wording was. But then unfortunately, the same thing happened later on, I believe after another update. Luckily, I did get it working again. I think I just had to turn the Bluetooth off or just delete my phone and re-add it to my car. I know every car is a little bit different when it comes to Android Auto, so I can't totally blame Google. But hey, the good thing is it's working again without using a cable, so that's good. Probably just a few days before I started working on this video, it started to do something really weird. When I would start typing on the keyboard, it's like certain letters would stop working. I haven't really seen that on my other devices, but then sometimes it would go from the keyboard not working to just the screen in general. It's like it wouldn't accept me touching the screen. It would just do nothing. And then I tried several things, but really the only way I could get it to work again is just by rebooting the phone. Then it seemed to work okay, at least for a while. I've had it happen probably at least 3 times so far, which has me slightly concerned. Luckily, it's been working fine again after each time of restarting. I also don't remember having this issue with my Samsung phones. It sort of reminds me of when I had a Nexus phone before they even started with Pixel, where it did something similar. After an update, it pretty much made the phone unusable. And again, it was sort of the touch screen. You would touch it and it would do all kinds of crazy stuff. You could just barely use it sometimes. Now, I'm not saying something breaks every time I get an update, but it is stuff like this that makes me a little hesitant when the next update comes along. You just never know if the next one is gonna break something else. I think there should be a button that says wait till next month or wait till next update. Everything is working pretty good right now. I feel like they should use a different technology for the fingerprint scanner. It might work just slightly better than the previous phones, but still it's not that good. Most of my Samsung phones have been smoother or faster or just more reliable than the Pixel 8 Pro when it comes to the fingerprint scanner. I do feel like the charging with the Pixel 8 Pro could be a little bit faster, especially if you see what OnePlus is doing, but for the most part, it's probably fast enough for now. Probably just depends on if you remember to start charging it early enough before you leave the house in the morning. As far as everything else, battery life has been pretty good for the most part. Even when I use my phone more than usual, it usually gets me through the entire day. There might have been a couple times late in the evening where it would get down to 10% and then I would have to charge it, but usually it lasts me a full day with no problems. I feel like the cameras on here are probably still one of the best that I've used on a smartphone, especially for photos. That's something you can usually count on with Pixel phones. I do think their video quality is getting better on this one versus the previous versions, but still not quite as good as my Galaxy S23 Ultra, especially in lower light situations. I also like the screen on here being flat. I gave the Pixel 7 Pro to my wife and I use it once in a while and you can really tell the difference on how curved that one is compared to this. To me, the curved screens might be prettier to look at, but flat screens are a little more functional. I also watch a lot of YouTube videos on here and it's nice not having that glare along the edge where the screen is curved, which if you've used a phone that has a curved screen, you know what I'm talking about. I've also always liked the software features you get with Pixel phones, like call screening, blocking spam calls. Now they have the AI stuff with photos. Just a lot of little things that Google does with their phones that just makes it really nice to use. Also, the signal strength and network strength has been pretty good so far. I haven't noticed that this one is weaker than some of the other phones I've used. I know some people out there have mentioned that before with other Pixel phones, but it might just depend on where you live, plus a lot of other variables. But overall, it's been a pretty good experience with the Pixel 8 Pro after about 4 months. I'd say it's definitely one of the better Pixel phones that I've used, other than those pesky updates that seem to break something every now and then. I'll be switching to the Galaxy S24 Plus, which I feel is a similar size to this, obviously with different software, and it's got a flat screen, so I'm curious to see if I'm gonna like that one better than the Pixel 8 Pro. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.